Hi guys. Starting with the laugh as usual. Be serious.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If this is your first time, I'm Elsie and this is
Tony,
Okay Tony. What are we talking about today?
we're talking a little bit about focus, about distractions,
Oof.
about how to overcome, I hope, to overcome some of them.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that is a very important topic in today's world and with so many distractions these
Yeah.
days. Yeah. So first of all, how do you even find what to focus on at any point in time?
That's a good question. How do you find what to focus on? That's something which millions of people sort of really struggle with because there's so many competing claims for that attention. There's only 24 hours in the day. In real time, of course, you might go into a sort of an alternative reality, the metaverse, and you can sort of, I presume you can encompass thousands of years if you want to travel backwards and forwards. But in reality, you've got 24 hours.
Yeah.
And the clock of all our lives ticks. So what do you focus on?
Yeah.
Well, you focus, the default position seems to be that you focus on what seems to be important to you at the time. Now, what's important to you at the time is driven possibly by extreme hunger. If you're absolutely starving and you've no money, well, the most important thing you need to focus on is getting some food.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all the other things, dreams, won't come to much if you drop down dead with starvation.
I mean, definitely. And that sounds very trivial to say that if you're hungry, then every single step you make in that moment would be focused on you getting food to eat. And it does sound like a trivial point, but the kind of things that people have done for food.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so definitely. That's a very, to me at least, that is a very important point to say that whatever you're focusing on would be as a result of whatever is important to you in that moment.
Yeah.
But following on from that, how do you know? I mean, sometimes you feel like something is important to you.
Right.
But it may not be what would bring you the most benefit.
Sure. Well, we definitely see all that, millions and millions of worked out examples of people following things which seem to bring kind of happiness, fulfillment, whatever at the time.
Yeah.
And certainly not by any objective standard bringing long-term happiness,
Yeah.
I mean, crack cocaine as a sort of real example comes home there. Apparently it brings wonderful happiness for that few brief...
Are you talking out of experience?
And then, the damage it does. But look inside yourself. But you maybe have to discover your purpose in life. What do you think is really most important to you?
Yeah. Taking
into account that, yes, we know we need to be fed, we know we need to be housed, we know if we have family responsibilities, we know we need to honor those, to take care of those.
Yeah.
But what is it that really motivates us? What really drives us?
Yeah.
Is it money or success or fame? That we get loads and loads of followers or likes? What is the most important thing? Is it a sense of that I'm doing better than anybody else? Because that drives a few people. I mightn't be doing the best in the world, but I'm doing better than the people next door.
Yeah.
So when you find something, and then you need to check it out as to whether this really is something which can bring you lasting happiness. And once again, if people are prepared to do that honestly, then pretty soon you realize that new cars, new toys is what they give a little bit of pleasure while they're new.
Right.
But once the newness wears off, it's not that same fulfillment, happiness, whatever there.
No.
And this goes all the way down whether somebody's whether they're playing with their new bicycle or to a billionaire playing with his new yacht, you know.
Yeah.
There's a limit because the newness is gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what do you find that really, do you find your purpose in life? I mean, some people say there's no purpose in life whatsoever. The only purpose in life is just mind your own business, enjoy yourself, try not to hurt others, but,
Right.
you know, basically just enjoy yourself. You're here to take care of yourself, let the others take care of themselves. At one level, it sounds fair. We're all there, we're all equal in that sense.
Yeah.
But, of course, it isn't entirely fair because some people have opportunities, they have money, they have education, they have all sorts of things that a huge percentage of the globe doesn't have. Okay, so if there's, do we have any duty to people who have less than us?
I mean, well, I think we do, but I suppose it depends on your belief system, because then there are people who just believe that, you know, each for himself, God for us all. Like, you take care of yourself and they take care of themselves, and let each person take care of themselves. But obviously that's not my belief system. I think we do have a responsibility to we are responsible for other people, to take care of other people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be interesting as to whether for people, and a lot of people do feel this, in fairness, not just Christian believers or anything, they do feel that they should
Help other
yeah,
well, to be fair, that is true, because when you think about people who give to charities, these are not necessarily people with religious beliefs.
Sure.
They're, you know, just...
But that's interesting as to where this comes from, as to why they should feel that way, you know? Because it's no use just saying, well, it's common, because it's not common sense in one sense. Common sense is to look after yourself, to make the best provision for yourself in every area. And that's it. The other thing is basically I've been driven by empathy, by compassion, whatever.
Well, I think so, because to be fair, like, as a human being, you do have a little bit of empathy and sympathy, and it's just like, even without any foundation of religion, seeing other people suffer, and then you knowing that you can afford to help them, maybe that's where it comes from, just knowing that you have more than enough. Maybe that's where the difference is, that if you didn't have any religious background, then the thought process would be to give when you have enough.
Right.
But if you had a religious backing or a religious foundation, then you give even when you don't have enough.
Well, that doesn't happen too often in my experience. You know, even with the most religious people, because one of the problems, of course, is that even well-meaning people, will say, what is enough? Now, by the standard I have today, fine, I can say, okay, I have X. If I had X plus 1, sure, I would share that one.
The one, okay.
Yeah. But, okay, this time next year, I would now my standards, my expenses,
inflation,
inflation. As now, having said that, inflation has also been a curse for the people who are worse off than me. But there again, so really speaking, that should actually be a spur to sort of to give more, not to give less. I can't afford to give this now because it's inflation.
Then it will affect your living conditions if you give more.
That's another example of a focus. If we want to, we allow that to be a focus of our life, helping others, and then a cost that it'll be. But there's a cost to anything serious which involves focus worthwhile. Whether you're an athlete preparing to play for your local team or play for the
International
to play in the
team.
Olympics,
Yeah.
is right. There needs to be that discipline, that training, and the saying no, the unchoosing of so many other things.
Yes.
If I've got training on a Friday night, I've got to go to training. I'm unchoosing a night at the pub.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I choose to marry somebody, that I'm unchoosing all the others.
All the other women in this world.
Well,
Are you listening, young men?
that's right.
Just saying.
Just saying, but it's true. Yeah.
No, but that is a really, I don't know, it's a really good point, because I'm just thinking about when very recently I was working on my dissertation, and I do really like going to the gym, and we used to go to the gym 4 times in a week, but when I was working on my dissertation, I think I had to stop going to the gym completely.
Yeah.
And there were times when I would say, oh, maybe I can just go this time and then do my dissertation after. But then I realized that anytime I would go to the gym, I would be too tired to even open my laptop.
Right.
So like you say, anytime you choose something, you're on choosing other things. And you have to decide. And, well, to be fair, sometimes it's not maybe totally on choosing it, but then just giving less time to it. But then you still have to decide which is my topmost priority, and which is going to take most of my time. Because like you say, whatever you do, you still have 24 hours.
Yeah.
So if you're choosing 70 things, you're still going to have to divide that 24 hours between the 70 things. So it's up to you. Are you going to choose 3 things and divide the 24 hours? Like choose the 3 most important things and divide those 24 hours amongst those things. Or even if you're choosing 70 things, you're supposedly not dividing the 24 hours equally amongst those 70 things, which we try to do actually.
Those the 70 things would just imagine. I mean, and it's not that much. It's not an exaggeration when you think of the number of things that we have to be sort of get involved in. But you also said if you were picking 3 things, I think 3 meta things would be if and there's 3 8 to 24. It works out well. Sleep is one. Because unless that gets refreshed. And funny enough, I know you're able to manage quite well just now by sort of missing a lot of sleep and getting up. My
parents listen to this program.
Yeah.
So
you will sleep. You will find it later on. They will, they say, what does that say?
It will catch up to you.
God forgives always. Human beings forgive sometimes. Nature never forgives.
Yeah.
It will catch up with you. It will catch up with you. And
is that a threat? That sounds more like a threat
than
anything.
No, this is just what happens in nature. But there you go. By all means, while you run while you can. Oh Lord. But yeah, so let's say 1/3 we've got sleep. You're preparing for sleep. Yeah. 1/3 for work. Yeah. And 1/3 for pray and play. That wouldn't be necessarily a bad
division.
Sort of 3 headings, and then fit what you can in the time. So there you go.
Now, well, at least for me, the most difficult thing, like in terms of just deciding what is important, is not the most difficult thing for me, to be honest. The most difficult thing is to push the other things aside.
Right.
Because sometimes you're like, you say things, you know how you say, okay, work, sleep, and then pray and play. Like, sometimes the time is just not enough. So, at some point, you're like, I'm probably not being sociable enough, right? So sometimes you just say, okay, you just sacrifice your sleep to hang out with friends a bit, and then at least with me, that's and then I end up going down like a spiral of allowing the distractions to
Yes.
take
Yeah,
over,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like, oh, just this one time, and
Yeah.
then the one time turns into every, like, oh, just this one friend, just this one friend,
I know.
just this one. Oh, I haven't seen her in a while, and it just. So I'm just wondering, like, how do how do you actually decide, like, to have that kind of assertiveness to say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to sleep, or whatever you have to do
Yeah.
at that time, and to say, yeah, this is the most important thing to me at this time, and this you're just going to forget about this, sacrifice this,
Mhm.
and then, yeah, how do you decide, like, how do you bear the cost? Because sometimes your friendships would suffer anyway.
Well, yeah, but then okay. I can't remember who or where I read this, but one way, and I, honest to God, I'm trying to remember now if it's something I read or something I'm contributing to, sort of padding out in my mind as I go along.
Yeah.
But tell me how how this would work. Okay, if that was my biggest distraction, I was so many people I haven't been in contact with. Great.
Yeah.
Right. One way would be to send a nice message to everybody saying, my dear so-and-so, I haven't seen you for so many months, whatever. I do miss you, if assuming that to be the case. And I want to keep in touch with everyone, but I found a purpose in my life, which is my priority. And to do that, I just have to, like an athlete in training, I have to cut down on social contact, I have to cut down on all sorts of things. I hope, as you're a friend of mine, I hope you understand. And for the next whatever, social contact for me is going to be drastically reduced.
Yeah.
And please don't feel that this is any reflection on you or my care for you, but it's just I have to do this, just as if I was an athlete in training. I hope you understand. And I wish you so much well. Now, if you were sending something like that, if the person is a friend of yours, they will understand and they won't love you any less. If the person is not really a friend of yours, God bless, let them go,
To be fair, you've always been great at constructing messages and paragraphs and essays and stuff like that, because that is a great message. And I feel like if I got a message like this from a friend of mine, I would be so sympathetic or empathetic. Like, yeah, do what you have to do to achieve your goals. I'm rooting for you, So yeah, I really hope that this is helpful to someone out there.
That's it. Please God is good for you, though. Never mind. It's
I'm
always
not
just good for
deflecting.
others.
I am not deflecting. No, definitely. This is definitely helpful to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, as you know, I always have, like, just
you
many things going on.
You can actually add to that and make it sort of like adding the 5-star or the gold tick to it as well. So and as I've discovered X, that is my purpose, my goal.
I hope you discover yours as well.
I hope you do too.
Yeah.
Because it is so rewarding that it's worth, crashing all my friendships. No, you know what I mean. It's worth it.
You heard the man. Find your purpose, trash your friends. Find your purpose, trash your friends.
Well, I tell you what. Here's another. That was funny that just you had that. But let's take a play on that. Trash your purpose, find your friends.
Oof, yes.
Oh my God.
No. Yeah, that would be tragic.
That would be tragic.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely find your purpose. Definitely work towards it, and definitely, for every move you make,
bring your friends along. Invite them to
Exactly.
what you discovered.
Yes.
Now, in your case, in my case, it may well be that our purpose, if you like, or the thing we've discovered, has a religious nature. It may well be that some of the friends that you contact, they don't have that. Well, that's fair enough as well. They're your friends, and you love them, and respect and appreciate them for what they are.
Yes.
But actually, inviting people to discover their purpose, it really makes people think, wow, and what is my purpose? Is it even worthwhile thinking about it?
Yeah.
Because if someone is only preoccupied in enjoying themselves without any other,
Yeah.
is that really a friend for you?
That is a good note to end on.
Uh-huh.
If you have people in your life that are only focused on enjoying themselves, is that really a good person to have in your life?
We could say, well, this is about time you found some miserable people as well to balance it out.
Good, great, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know,
Because what is the point in having people who only want to enjoy themselves?
Well,
Well, we have come to the end of our program.
I'm sure there was something else I wanted to say, which was, now that's the trouble. You see, 74 years and the brain does not respond.
He
quite
always
as quickly.
blames on his age.
Is what?
You
No,
always.
I don't mind. I don't mind about my age, apart from my knees. They mind, but I also mind the fact that about this forgetting. It's like I'm getting the memory like the proverbial goldfish. You know, it's like why did I swim around here? I don't know. And they swim
I've
back
always
again.
wondered how people knew that goldfish had a bad memory. But
Anyway, scientists. There's another discussion. I know. But it's funny, apparently goldfish don't have such a bad memory according to some scientists. How the hell they knew, I don't know.
right.
I don't know which one of them learned goldfish talk to be able to find out.
Exactly.
No, I think there must have been something to do with food and whether the goldfish remembered what it had to do to get it, presumably.
Okay. Fair enough.
But that's quite good. But yeah, I know. Sorry, we were talking about purpose in life.
Yeah.
That's right. And the thing I wanted to say, see, it's come back now, thank God, is if you have something to focus on,
Yeah.
then if that thing you're focusing on is deep inside of you, then it gives you gives you energy, I suppose, and
The
gives
drive.
you also the willingness
Yeah.
to sort of to make that the sacrifices, whether it's of the Friday night at the pub or wherever else it happens to be,
Yeah.
because you're doing this for a worthwhile cause, and part of that worthwhile cause is developing yourself to be, everyone tells us, be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Yes.
Well, you're helping to do that. And if you don't have that, like that, then it's not so easy to remain focused. And although we go through the motions and think, oh my God, if I didn't have all these distractions, well, we've got to be honest and see how much of these distractions do we tacitly encourage, allow.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
fine. If I had my phone switched on just now and looking at the screen all the time, well, fine.
Yeah.
If I have it switched off totally, whatever's happening,
Yes.
we have to do
such a
that in our
great
life as well. Yeah.
to cut off because I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes we act as if the distractions come to us
Yeah.
when in reality we allow these
Yes, 'cause
distractions.
we're there to receive it, that's like
Yeah,
dancing.
even
Okay.
with social media, I think recently I was saying I was going to delete my Instagram because
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just you go and see one thing and then it just keeps going and going and going. Like you
right.
just so yeah, no, it's up to you to decide.
It's up to you,
well,
yeah,
like, is it really
to shut down.
worth
And
my time? Really?
like,
Yeah.
Using the phone as the example, once you put that down into airplane mode, and nothing can get through.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought in airplane mode, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's it. It doesn't get through. So we have to do the same in our lives when
Yeah.
we discover there's something important enough
To put
to
other
shut the
things on
distractions
airplane
out,
mode. Yeah,
and
great.
then
Yeah.
actually we can be a lot happier. It's not like that we're doing something to be antisocial
No.
or for the wrong reasons or anything like that.
Yeah.
But no. And funny enough, another benefit for our friends can be, apart from giving them, if you like, advice,
The gift
a
of
gift
finding
of
their
sort of,
purpose.
whatever
Yeah.
we've done, if they then see that is making some positive difference in our life and that we're happier with that, then that's reinforcing that message,
True.
So there we go. So
Now-
I'll let you end the program now because I can't remember any more to say.
We have actually now come to the end of our program. If you've watched to this point, I imagine you're enjoying the program. So kindly like, comment, subscribe.
Share.
And until next time, it's bye for now.
Bye.
If you like this video, kindly like, comment, and subscribe. You can also find us on other social media platforms, on Twitter at Talk with Tony and on Instagram at talkwithtony.live. Don't forget, live, laugh, and most importantly, love. Watch out for the next video. It's bye for now.